Before you start spending tens of thousands of dollars in upgrades to your house before you decide to sell it, listen up. This is very important. Most homeowners that I talk to before we decide to sell always ask me, what upgrades should I make to the house that will be the most profitable? And it's a great question to ask because getting this wrong may cost you a lot of money and a lot of time. And just because the house may sell for more doesn't mean you may profit more. For example, if you put money into the house and it sells for more, but you put so much money into it that you didn't make any profit because you did the wrong upgrades, you didn't make any more, it wasn't worth it. And in this video, we're gonna talk about what type of upgrades you should do and what you shouldn't. And before we dive into the upgrades, I wanna talk about the difference between repairs and upgrades. So repairs would be things like old water stains in the ceiling, exposed wiring, holes in the firewall in the garage, things like that. And upgrades would be like new floors, fresh paint, new appliances, or even as far as remodeled bathrooms and kitchens. In most cases, the best way to look at things when it comes to upgrades is you either remodel the entire house from top to bottom, landscaping, everything, make it turnkey, move-in ready, or you take exactly what you already have and clean it up and make it the most presentable that you possibly can. And where I see a lot of homeowners make mistakes is they take one part of the property, whether it's the floors, one bathroom, the backyard, and they will make upgrades to only one piece of what they're trying to sell. I sold a property several years ago, beautiful house, 3,500 square foot house. The homeowner decided to put brand new expensive slate floors in the whole house. They were beautiful floors, but that's all he did. He spent 3 weeks on his hands and knees making these floors as perfect as possible. But he didn't remodel the rest of the house. The buyers that bought the house, the first thing that they did was they ripped out all the floors. So the time, money, and effort that he put into those floors was of zero value to the buyer. So this is a perfect example of kind of being in the gray area between the two and how that can be very risky. So the point is, you don't know. You will never know what the buyer wants. Now, but what we do know is probably 99.9% of the time, a buyer is not gonna buy a brand new, fully remodeled house and gut it. That's usually not what happens. But we also know that if someone buys a quote used property and buys it in its current condition, a lot of times they will remodel the whole thing themselves. So the full remodel route is pretty self-explanatory. If you have questions about what a full remodel looks like, or you need a referral for something like that, I got you. The other side of the coin of not doing a full remodel is a little bit more complicated. We like to focus on 3 different things: curb appeal, first impression, and scary things. Now, we're not gonna talk about scary things because that would be considered a repair. We're talking about upgrades today. So curb appeal and first impression. Now, what can you do to improve your curb appeal? Landscaping is the most important thing. If everything's overgrown and things like that, cut everything back. Again, taking what we already have and making it in the most presentable way we can. And that means cleaning everything up, cutting everything back, putting in some mulch or some wood chips, creating some life there. Now, and you don't want to push this too far. Putting flowers and mulch and that will do enough. You don't want to go ahead and plant a huge big palm tree in there. A couple other things. So if your driveway, for example, if you've repaved certain sections and it's 6 different colors, sometimes you can paint the driveway or clean up the driveway, power wash the driveway, make the driveway look as good as possible. I'm not saying rip it out and repave it, but take what we have and make it look better. Another big thing that's very inexpensive, or it can be very inexpensive, the garage door. Now that's like a billboard of your house when you pull up. If you have one of those really old garage doors that open like this, and just the old school ones, taking that garage door out and putting the most basic one you have in, that's like going from riding a skateboard to at least a Volkswagen. And this is my favorite upgrade to your curb appeal. There's been research done and the garage door has a huge ROI. So that's definitely one thing that you can do. Change the billboard of your house to improve your curb appeal. So now that we've talked about the curb appeal, let's talk about first impression. When I mean first impression, when they first walk in the house, what is their experience like? So the first thing they're gonna do is they're gonna smell what the house smells like. So we wanna make it smell as good as possible. That would mean a deep cleaning in the property. Put air fresheners in the outlets. Open up all the windows, let it air out. Make sure that their first impression isn't ew. So the next thing is lighting. Make sure you have all the light bulbs in the sockets. Make sure all the lights work. So lighting is very important because it gives you that warm feeling. If it's very dark, it gives them a cold feeling. As far as blinds go, a lot of times we will remove them altogether. But for showings, at least have all the blinds open to get as much natural light in there as possible. I never understand why people don't have lights in the sockets and they're working. Lighting is the second most important thing when you walk into a house. And now let's talk about staging. So staging is probably, depending on the house, now every situation is different, but staging is probably the best investment you can do to your first impression of the house. It will show you how the floor plan flows, and you'll have brand new furniture in there to give them that warm feeling. And I'm not saying you have to stage the entire house. What we mainly focus on is kitchens, bathrooms, common areas, and master bedroom. That's kind of the minimum. Now, if you still live in the property, well, you're not gonna stage it, obviously. So what are you gonna do? You wanna get rid of as much stuff as possible. So decluttering. All of your countertops are completely empty. And if you're still living there, having one of our designers come through to help you rearrange things to create better flow of the floor plan, that's what I would do. Again, taking what you already have and creating the best product. Staging isn't always a must. There are times when, in my opinion, you shouldn't stage. If you have terrible flooring with stains and cracks and all of these things, and you stage it with a big carpet and cover it up, well, you don't want to do that, because once the staging is removed 2 weeks before escrow closes, they'll do a walk, go, I didn't know about this. And if you have a crack in a wall that goes halfway down and you cover up with a staging picture, you don't want to do that. So at the beginning of the video, I said that I'm going to keep this really simple. That being said, every house is different. Every situation is different. Every house has different issues that have to be addressed. And every house has a different target buyer. I recommend, before you put $1 into your house, talk to your agent. I'm happy to help give you some guidance on where I think you should be in that spectrum. Because focusing on getting your house to sell for more doesn't mean that it may be more profitable. So what we want to help you with is making the smartest upgrades to the property to get the highest return on investment. That's what you need to focus on. Call me, I'm happy to help. Happy to have a conversation, or call an agent you trust. Just don't start putting money into, quote, upgrades, well, things that you think might be an upgrade, because yes, you're right, it will be an upgrade and the house may sell for more, but you may take a loss. So if you have any of these questions, or if there's anything we can do for you, you know how to get us.